Well, happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome back to Casual Duelist. Real quick, I think this is the longest I've done these in a row here for a few months, and it's actually been kind of nice. That aside, thanks for showing up. Let's get you guys a regular advanced list master game version of the Cyber Dragon OTK today. And this is one of the fun ones that's different because of the ban list. So, would you guys notice the difference? Jam the like button, maybe? I don't know. Or the dislikes. I mean, you guys can't see them, but I can. You guys do you. First up, we're going to be rocking 3 Cyber Dragons. You'll notice a whole lot of foil here. Because, again, it's not common charity. I'm allowed to play with my regular cards. 3 copies core because, again, this is still something that you want to do. I'm running 3 copies hairs. We're going to run 3 copies Noster. We're going to run the same 2 copies of Veer. They're not the same copies. You'll notice these ones are in black sleeves. The other ones were in blue. I'm not sure if anybody's picked up on that yet, but like every version of my collection has to be in a different color. I don't know why. Just I'm broken. That's why. And 2 Jizakuru to round out our monsters. So we're just going to leave that up. A lot of this is what you think it's going to be. A lot of this is going to focus on the machine dupe strategy again. Because, if it's not broken, it's amazing. And I'm not going to use the movie magic today because we're all tapped out of movie magic. We don't have a lot for production value here, and we ran out because it's already halfway through the week. Moving on to the spells, we're going to run the single Called by the Graves so we could try to ensure that we get our plays through. 3 copies of Cyber Emergency because it's still a great searcher. 3 copies of Cyber Repair Plant because I still think it's good technically. 3 copies of Rev System because, it wasn't common, guys. If it was common, we'd have been using this. It's a way better version of Monster Reborn for this build. Just is what it is. We got the single copy Feather Duster, single copy Instant Fusion, 3 copies of Machine Duplication, got the single Monster Reborn, the single 1-for-1, the playset triplicate of Original Power Bonds, 3 Raigekis. I'm not sure if you guys noticed the difference yet of what's really new to this one-turn kit. It's the Raigekis, guys. And rounded out to 40, we got a copy of Upstart Goblin. So I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to try to separate those a little bit so this way they're a little easier to see. But yeah, super spell heavy again. We're not doing any traps in this build. I'm not even running impermanence. It's like sideboard material for this type of build because the main focus here is we want to be able to do the machine dupe, blow through the monsters on the opposing side of the field, and just power bond into game strokes. So that was long enough. Let me attempt, I guess, to pick up my own cards because I don't know, my spider grip is just not working today. But yeah. So that's it for the deck list for the main portion. We're going to give you guys the quick sideboard. And again, for me, it's just not Cyber Dragons if I'm not playing Barbaroid, the Ultimate Battle Machine, because, when Nova gets broken, that's a big deal for me. And we can have Infinity in this deck. So we do, and we need the backup routes as well. We're going to run 2 Fortress Dragons, trying to hide the common one so you guys don't tease me too much. Running the single Camaratech Megafleet. Running a single Rampage, running 1 each of the Evil Illustration and the Good Illustration Cyber and Dragons, because, again, if you're going to be Flexington, you got to flex both. I'm going to have a single copy of Cyber Twin, because it's not as potent when we have better options around us now. Single copy Invoked Macabre, because this is another route to go from Nova. And single Panzer Dragon, because, again, between Panzer Dragon and the Rampage Dragon, we've got our 2 targets for our instant fusion. It depends on the moment what you're trying to do. The Xyz monsters are going to be 2 versions of Cyber Dragon Infinity because, again, guys, if you're going to flex it big and flex both ways. We got the 2 copies of Nova from the first structure deck, so that's nice and foiled out. And again, we're going to run another single copy of Seeger, just because, again, there are some times where, again, it just helps to push for the game. And again, if we've already blown up the monsters, we might as well funnel power. It is a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and spread those, let you guys write that down real quick. And while you guys are doing that, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by again today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And you know what? I haven't said this in a couple of times, but if you did enjoy this and you would like to support the channel, very simple. All you have to do is keep watching my videos. And if you subscribe, it's a lot easier for you to keep watching my videos. But yeah, check it out. Check out the rest of what we got. And if you were just here for the deck list, before I say you have a great day, remember there will be test hands for this tomorrow. And I'm going to show you guys again one of the easier ways to just blast somebody with things like the Panzer Dragon. Because who doesn't want to use a Panzer Dragon in 2022, right? Like, come on. All right. So if you guys were just here for the deck list, you guys have a great day. Everybody else, you know the drill. We're about to go over every card in this deck. Whether that is for the better or the worse. And wow, I just got that all out of order. And we'll do it. So real quick, let's get back into the main deck again with the Panzer Dragon. It can special summon itself as long as you don't control any monsters and your opponent does. But again, we're here because of the name. We're here for the level 5. We're here for the fact that it's machine. And it's iconic as all get out these days. So that too. Panzer Dragon Core, again, still the play starter. This allows you to grab any cyber spell trap from your deck on a normal summon. Generally, you're not going to use the second effect, but if you do, what's going to happen is if your opponent controls a monster and you don't have any monsters, you can banish this from the graveyard to special summon one Panzer Dragon monster from the deck. You can only use one of these effects per turn and only once that turn. So very much like a Shadal card in the way that it's going to lock down how much utility it gives you. Generally, we're going after the first effect, though. We got Hares today. Hares is our third machine dupe target. And another 1-for-1 target. Along with the Noster. So very cool. This does become Panzer Dragon while in the field or the graveyard, like every other Panzer Dragon card. You can only use one of the following effects per turn and only once that turn. If this is special summon, you can make this card's level 5 until the end of this turn. And you can also not special summon except machines, which is, again, kind of fine, especially on a 1-for-1, because you can actually save one of your 2100 point Panzer Dragons while you're going into Nova, so that would be fine as well. Second effect, if this is sent to the graveyard, you could add another Panzer Dragon from the deck to the graveyard back to your hand. Again, that's not terrible. It helps. But honestly, we can get some travel out of the first effect in this time. The Noster, yet again, Panzer Dragon on field and grave. You can discard one of the monsters, special summon this from the hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you may target a machine monster with 2100 attack or defense in the graveyard, special summon it. Lock yourself into special summoning machines for the rest of the turn, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So again, off the 1-for-1, off sending the regular Panzer Dragon, tons of plays. Noster's one of the better cards in my opinion, right up there with Core. Veer, name becomes Panzer Dragon while on field or grave. If you normal or special summon a Panzer Dragon, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand to the graveyard, or from your hand in defense position. You may only use this effect once per turn, and while this is face up, each Panzer Dragon you control gains 500 attack and defense, so you do get like a static buff for your side of the field. And again, we are running the 2 copies, Jizukuru the Star Destroying Kaiju, just to off-board stuff on our opponent's side of the field, and then we're going to rectify that with the Camaratech Fortress Dragon. So don't worry about it having the better stats than Gamma CL. We're here because it's a machine. Going to our spells, which is the remainder of our deck. Call by the Grave to stop a hand trap so we can try to play through. 3 Cyber Emergencies because we can add any light machine that cannot be normal summoned or set. Or a Panzer Dragon monster, which is what we're going to be doing. And of course, if this gets negated by an opponent's card effect and is sent to your graveyard, you can discard a card to add this back to your hand, and you can only activate one of these per turn. So not terrible. Cyber Repair Plant, again, you have to have a Panzer Dragon already in the graveyard to start activating effects. If you have 3 or more, you can get both effects, but you have to resolve them in sequence. The sequence being add a light machine monster from the deck to the graveyard, which again allows us to add Jizakuru in this build, or target a light machine monster in the graveyard and shuffle that back into our deck. Again, you guys almost watched me misplay by sending a core back into the deck instead of just grabbing a core out of the deck. Whatever. I was being silly and a little tired, if we're being honest. The Cyber Rev system, brilliant spell card. Love these. This is like having an extra 3 Monster Reborns plus in your deck. So you get to special summon 1 Cyber Dragon from your hand or your graveyard, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And this card also fails to say once per turn, so feel free to activate all 3 if you really want. Really lends to the beatdown feel of this deck. We get the Harpy's Feather Duster. Again, back row's not a terribly big deal, but you're still going to find some people playing field spells like Mystic Mine and stuff, and sometimes you're just going to want to wipe the board clean first. Everything else for this, like the Twin Twisters, those will be in the sideboard. Again, I'm not giving you guys a sideboard list today. Sorry, but that's where the rest of that type of support would be. The Instant Fusion, again, it's here for the Rampage, and it's here for the Panzer Dragon. You guys could also out the Panzer Dragon if you wanted to, and just play a second Rampage or free up that slot for whatever you like. We are going to run the 3 machine dupes. Again, this will allow us to target a machine that we have that's 500 attack or less and special summon up to 2 more with the same name from our deck. And again, this is a big part of the strategy, guys. The Monster Reborn, nice generic, and lets us get access to the opponent's discard pile. Very cool. 1 for 1 allows us to send a monster card from our hand to the discard pile. Special summoning 1 level 1 monster from our deck in exchange. So again, we can actually get the Hares this time, and because of that, we can change Hares to being a level 5 and actually maintain one of our Cyber Dragons when we go into Nova. So that's kind of cool too. Power Bond still working the same. It's polymerization for machine monsters. Again, when we do this, the monster will gain attack equal to its original attack, and then we will take damage equal to that during the end phase. However, the power bonus does remain. It is not till the end of the turn. My favorite example for this is Cyber Dragon, just because it's nice big round numbers. So it is 4,000, it'll gain 4,000, and you'll burn for 4,000, and that is the Wendy's 4 there. Hate that joke. I don't know why I said it twice. And then, you know, the last 2 are pretty self-explanatory. The Raigeki, destroy all opponents' monsters. And again, this is just amazing because they let this jump up to 3, and I don't know why. And to be honest, I don't care because it works. We're going to abuse it, and we're going to make them put that back down to 1, I think. I'm okay with Dark Hole being at 3. Raigeki? Put it back to 1, please. And then Upstart Goblin, just to get that extra draw card. Again, since it's more of an OTK, we want to punch them down. We can realistically get that extra 1,000 life points back off them. So again, I'm not super worried about it. Going over to the extra deck, we do have the Barbaroid, the ultimate battle machine. And again, it can attack twice every battle phase, can't attack directly, and after damage calculation, if it attacked an opponent's monster, negate that monster's effect, including in the discard pile. And if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, then you get to inflict 1,000 points of damage to the opponent. And there is so many reasons why that's just ignorant. But it is the battle variation. It is the non-control version after Nova gets destroyed by an opponent's card effect. The other one will be Invoked Macabre. We'll go over that here in a moment. The Fortress Dragon is Cyber Dragon plus other machine monsters. Goes 1,000 points per material that you used, and those materials could be anywhere on the field. Thank you, Jizakuru, for being on the opponent's side of the field for us, and guaranteeing it doesn't matter what our opponent's playing, we can play this. The Megafleet, again, this is another thing. Give me a second, I gotta sip this water real quick. Thank you. Camaratech Megafleet was another thing that was just not allowed to us when we were playing with our common charity build, because this card's only been, I believe, a secret and an ultra so far. But this is a Cyber Dragon monster plus monsters from the extra zones. So again, your opponent sets up something like the Hieratic Spheres, which have to be up there. It's a good time to out that. This card cannot be used as fusion material, must first be special summoned from the extra deck by sending the above cards from either field to the graveyard. and the original attack becomes 1,200 times number of materials. So again, generally it's going to be 24. There might be some instances where you will actually vacuum up your own extra zone monster card, at which point this thing will cap out at 36. Still not bad, but definitely just a one-off. Got the Rampage Dragon again, 2+ Cyber Dragon monsters. You get to select an amount of spell traps on the field up to the number of materials that you used to go ahead and help clear back row. This is another reason why Twin Twisters would be in the sideboard and not the main deck for me. Because again, there's just so many ways and times at which you could play the Rampage Dragon that it just feels like you're overdoing it right now to have all those extra back row spells in your deck. So it is what it is. Once per turn, you can also send up to 2 light machines from your deck to the discard pile, and if you do, for each monster you sent, this card gets another attack during every battle phase. And oh my goodness, is this fun underneath like a power bond. It starts off at 42, it attacks 3 times, it's kind of crazy. But again, in this version, just one will do ya. You're going to have the 2 Cyber Ends because you want the 4K Piercer. You're going to have the Cyber Twin because you do want that 2,800 double attacker. Again, you power bond for this. 5,600. Very good, very strong. The Macabre, again, this is another Nova play. Once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, send a card of the same type from your hand to the discard pile to negate the activation, and if you do, banish the card that you negated. So this is amazing because even if you fail to get to infinity, you still have negates. And again, traps, not as relevant right now. So being that the deck is all spells and monsters, A-OK, perfect tech. And you guys can get the macaroni and cheese one out of the Maximum Gold Eldorado. So go ahead, get this card, start playing it. It's very good. Panzer Dragon, again, just my favorite tech when it comes to going into Nova. So this is my general instant fusion target. But again, you could always just up the Rampage Dragon if you like. It's just these were built a little while ago, like last week, as soon as the ban list was done. And I'm filming it as I'm realizing I could have just done more Rampage Dragons because I didn't bother to look at the star level of the Rampage Dragon, guys. That's what it is. I didn't do my homework as well as I should have. Let's do these two in opposite order because it's always made more sense. So the first up is Nova. That's going to be 2 level 5 machines. Once per turn, you may detach material from this to target a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, special summon it. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can banish a Cyber Dragon from the hand or face up on the field from your monster card zone. This card gains 2,100 until the end of the turn. If this card in your possession is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 machine type fusion monster from your extra deck. Again, generally we're stepping up from this to infinity. You may cause an extra special summon to extend your play another direction for more power. It is what it is. But generally we're going into infinity. So let's talk about infinity. We're never going to use 3 level 6 light machines because that is, by golly, just way too specific, guys. We need it to be a little less specific and a little more Atlantic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with the effect here. Once per turn, you can also exceed this by using Nova. And, of course, transferring those materials to this. This card will gain 200 points per material attached to it. Once per turn, you can target a face-up attack position monster on the field. Attach it to this card as face-up exceeds material. Another great way of dealing with your own Jizukurus. Again, you can Kaiju, get the card off the field, then vacuum clean the Kaiju up. And then once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated, you may detach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So again, just crazy. It's so full of control. It's able to take cards off the board. It's able to control cards off the board. And if you fail to get to it, you can either beat cards up off the board or, again, still continue to negate cards off the board with Barbroid and Macabre. So kind of amazing. And then, again, just Seeger, guys. Just a single copy of Seeger will do you. Any 2 machines, one has to be a Cyber Dragon. Again, basic Cyber Dragon stat there. Card does become a Cyber Dragon on the field and in the grave. During each battle phase, if this card is not declared in an attack, you can target 1 machine that you control with 2,100 or more attack. For the rest of this turn, that monster gains 2100 attack and defense, and neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this monster. So again, very cool, very different, and there are reasons to play it. So that is it, guys. That is the unlimited build Cyber Dragon, Not Common Charity, OTK beat 'em up deck. And I promise it's a much shorter title on the video. Just look up. See that? Way shorter than me gibbering on. But, you know, it isn't uploaded right now with me talking, so makes sense. Come on, stop on by again tomorrow. We're going to do some test hands for you. This one can go first and second because, again, we have access to infinity. So second is not like the pre-programmed choice where it's like, you got to go second or else you're not going to get your cyber cards. We can go first with this one, and I'll show you guys. So for today, that is all. I do hope that you guys have a great day. Go do something for yourselves that you enjoy. Make the rest of today about you, and you guys have a lovely one. I'll see you guys, or I hope to see you guys, tomorrow in the next video. Later, my friends.